traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Turrbal people of Yuggera land, as well as the Woiwurrung people of the Wurrung land. We recognise their continued connection to the land and waters of this beautiful place and acknowledge that they never ceded sovereignty. We respect all Turrbal and Woiwurrung elders and ancestors, and any First Nations people here today.
I can't take it anymore!
Good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good morning, Blurtstars, wherever you are around the world. You are listening to the new Blurt.
You absolutely are listening to the new Blurt. Hi, I am the Kegster, host of the new Blurt, and tonight I'm coming to you from Wencee country, Kulin nation of the Woiwurrung people. Sovereignty was never ceded, always has been, and always will be Aboriginal land. We have a fantastic show for you tonight. We have Wencee in Thailand, and we'll go to that in a very, very short moment. But tonight we're going to talk about a few things happening, actually. We've got, Macca's has been pioneering a burger in Australia, apparently, that's been taking off around America. So we'll just have a little look at that. We might just look at a podcast that talks about brain parasites that we referred to on this show quite a few episodes ago. And if I find the episode, I will link it in the show notes when this goes as a potty, unless you are listening to a potty already. And Wencee, obviously, in Thailand. So we will talk about that. We will talk about that. And yeah, quite a few other things. And Green, they're done that tonight. We're talking about New Zealand's largest solar farm is just about to be built. And a bit of politics tonight with Blurt on politics with Wencee being in Thailand. We thought we might do some Thai politics, and there's some New Zealand stuff going on with their new government over there. So I thought we might have a bit of a crack at that as well. Good evening, Wencee.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kegster, because it's only 4 o'clock over here, 4:25 to be exact. But yes, coming to you live from Chiang Mai in northern Thailand.
Beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, how is northern Thailand? Is it just as hot as Vietnam?
Yeah, if not hotter. Today seems to have been warmer, but when the sun comes out, which is quite often, and it's not cloudy, man, it stings. And when you're walking around,
hats? You're wearing hats?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely wearing hats, slopping on the sunscreen and everything else. So,
yeah,
but
nice.
yes, doing a lot of kilometers of walking every day. So I think I'm up to about 6 or 7 kilometers today, just walking into town.
Well, I know what you're like with walking, and for you, that's incredible.
Yeah, it beats the 50 meters I do a day when I'm back home.
I was going to say, because when you were down here and you went for a bit of a walk with us, it was about 7Ks, and we do that moderately often. We haven't done it for a little while, actually, but you were like, oh, my God. And so 6 or 7Ks for you, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I walk and you guys canter just about.
Yeah, it is true. We do move a bit. Actually, a little bit on that. I was just listening, I think it was this week or last week, and they said that fast walkers live longer.
Oh, right.
And have less chance of getting diabetes. So I thought, oh, good. That's a good thing to have on my side. I was quite happy with that. So
come back to the Asian walkers here, because Thailand, Vietnam, they all walk really slow. And it's like, come on, move it, will you? And you just go, try to zip past them.
Yeah, but I don't know Thailand at all. I've only ever been there once, I think, and I was very, very young, so I don't remember any of it at all. But I would assume that it's just the sort of place that people are taking their time. They're not rushing around like mad.
Yeah, they don't rush in, and not many locals would actually walk because they're smart, because it's bloody hot out there. We're the stupid ones who walk in the heat.
Yeah.
But they're
and
on
that is stupid. Yep, definitely.
Yep, we are stupid, but no, we enjoy it. But yeah, they're quite often just on their motorbikes going from A to B. Even if it's just go 2 blocks, they'll hop on their little mopeds and go down the road and come back.
Yeah, and keep out of the sun type thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's bizarre because they're fully covered, so they'll have helmets. Not compulsory here, by the way, in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
But yeah,
is an option.
Hoodie, long sleeve, top, trousers, or jumpers and tracksuit pants. And here I am in shorts and t-shirt going, what the? This is so fucking hot.
I know.
You're making me hot just looking at you.
I remember vividly when I was in Singapore years ago. I remember it, and I was walking around the same. I was in shorts and t-shirt, just sweating out of every orifice, and people walking around in suits, not even raising a sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the old thing, isn't it? It's what you get used to. So it's what you get used to. But one thing I did want to mention, next week will be our last show for the year. It will be our usual sort of traditional Christmas show that we do. So hopefully you can join us online for that one. Or if you don't, pick it up during the Christmas break and have a listen to that. We'll probably talk about Christmas in Thailand, but probably do a little bit of a referral to Christmas around the world as well. We just figure that it's probably better for Wencee, because it's quite hard for Wencee to get ready for the show, etc. When he's out there enjoying himself, etc. And the time zone and all the rest of it. So we thought next week would probably be a good time to wind up. Just talking about that, a couple of things that were happening this week. Now, I've been remiss of me, so I need to do this because there's no point having the theme if you're not going to use the theme. So here we go.
Blurt around the world, around the world, around the world, around the world.
I changed the name of this segment just so we could play that song.
Blurt around the world, around the world, around the world.
And so far we haven't been copyrighted. Thank goodness for that.
No. Well, as long as we talk through it enough, we should be okay, I think.
Exactly right.
A couple of things I wanted to mention. All medical. One is that our good friend of the show, who's never been on, but obviously we love him, Jimmy Barnes, is in hospital. And if you don't know, and if you don't know who Jimmy Barnes is, he was the front man of Cold Chisel for a very long time, and he's been solo artist for a very long time. He sold millions of albums, blah, blah, blah. But he's also quite an activist on quite a few social issues as well. So it's sort of like you put Angry Anderson and Jimmy Barnes next to each other and never the twain shall meet, because Angry's so far one way and Jimmy's probably just as far the other way type thing. He's very, as I say, socially aware, socially conscious. Anyway, he's had to cancel his upcoming shows because he just got basically sort of overnight, to a certain extent, bacterial pneumonia.
Oh, shit.
And no, it's not. He's been receiving intravenous antibiotics for the last 36 hours. And apparently he should make a full recovery and be all ready to go, because he's meant to be in the in Umea to play the Rock the Boat 2023. And some of the other players in that show will be Daryl Braithwaite, Black Sorrows, and John Stevens. So not a bad bill, you know.
Yeah. And when's he due to be there?
Yeah, I'm just having a look at that. The festival in Southern Victoria on Saturday. Yeah, okay. So so let me just check something out there. So I don't think he's going to be on that cruise one. He had to cancel that one, but he's expected to make a full recovery in time to perform live by the sea in Torquay. The festival in Southern Victoria on Saturday also features The Living End, Birds of Tokyo, Pete Murray, Casey Chambers, plus Mahalia Barnes and the Soulmates. So that is a really good bill. Yeah, definitely one to have a look at. Anyway, he said that it was caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae, basically pneumococcal bacteria. As we know, it's one of the worst types of pneumonia you can get, unfortunately. but it can be life-threatening for babies, etc. But as I say, he's been taking a lot of antibiotics. Meant to make a full recovery, and apparently he got this because he's had niggling back and hip issues for years, but the thing suddenly got worse. And over the last weeks, I'm now in constant severe pain. And he said he received this after, he said he had hip and back surgery late last year, which he endured weeks of bed rest. So sometimes when those things happen, you can get pneumonia after it type thing. So
I guess your immune system's low.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully, with a bit of luck there, he should be good to go, and the people in Victoria can enjoy that concert, which looks really, really cool. Also, I alluded to it at the top of the show, McDonald's to introduce new burger recipe pioneered in Australia in the US. So that Aussies have been pioneers. So I've just got a tiny little bit here. I'm just going to play.
I guess that's sort of good.
See how we go. Might not work, but we'll see how we go. Because apparently Wendy's has just come to Australia, I'm understanding.
Here's a meal here, a Dave's single. That's the kind of basic hamburger. I'm going to see if it's any better.
Yeah, we might get into that. And if so, I'll just... Yeah, no, that's fine. So apparently Wendy's has just come to Australia, and that's what they're...
all of these...
Oh, basically, that's what they're sort of competing against.
Yeah.
And it says here Australia's been used as a test bed for McDonald's previously with McCafe launch. Did you know that? It was launched in Australia before it was launched worldwide.
Don't really pay attention much to McDonald's, to be honest.
Australian market is similarly... No, fair enough. No, good call. Good call. I must admit that they actually, you can get not a bad coffee. But yeah, no, fair enough too. 7 years in development, the new recipe will see burgers that are moister and the special sauce more abundant. The cheese is meltier, and surely you're getting hungry now. Lettuce and onions are fresher, and the all-important bun is now shinier, and it's a soft brioche. We can do it quick, fast, and safe, but it doesn't necessarily taste great. So we want to incorporate quality into where we're at. Well, that'll be the first time. Told the paper. So Macca's is making the change as market gets more competitive with the likes of grilled. Yes, because grilled is really good.
I don't know. I used to eat grilled, but then it started being a bit too inconsistent in quality.
Oh,
at least in Brisbane.
Okay.
Yeah,
in Brisbane. Yeah. I must admit, where we go, I just really good every time.
Okay. Yeah, no, we stopped and just didn't like the inconsistency of how they came out, and it went no, we'll stop.
Oh wow.
So it's been a few years since we've eaten it. That's fair enough.
No, I've been a couple of times now. There's one in Carlton, and the beautiful thing is that because there's quite a few homeless around that area, et cetera, and rough sleepers, those sort of people, they have like sort of donation areas, and they donate a certain amount of their product as well. I think from a profit perspective for the homeless, especially in those areas. And I think there's certain times of the day there's an area where you can donate, basically, donate a burger for a homeless person in the area, et cetera. So I think it's they seem to have some pretty good initiatives down there. I only have the there's like the fake meat burger, and it's really, really good. I like it. I like it. In fact, I'm not eating meat, and I like it because it tastes really good. So yeah, that's a shame that it's not any good at Brisbane, but that is absolutely fine. So yeah. Oh, did you drop out? Did you?
Yes, I dropped out for about 10 seconds. Continue. Carry on.
Oh, sorry about that. I was going to say to you, I'm not sure if you know, because obviously you're over there, and we'll obviously be talking about that in a second. But I just wanted to mention that our friend Craig Rucastle, that you and I are big fans of War on Waste, he's done about 7 seasons of, I think, and obviously initially Chaser, excuse me, is apparently the answer to the ABC Drive show. I think it's a drive show, or is it the morning show? No, the ABC morning show in Sydney.
The morning show.
So I'm
Okay.
trying. Yeah. So here's the answer. I'm racking my brains to work out what the question would be, because I'm not.
Hey, Jeopardy, Andy. What's the question?
But yes, I don't know. Well, I mean, it looks like they're diversifying. Look at the ABC are diversifying again. They've branched out and they've gone for an old white guy. So
that's different. That's new. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, no, they've really they've gone as far as they can there, and as diverse as they can. Look, I have heard a bit about Sammy Shah, how he left the ABC, etc., and it wasn't, I don't think, on particularly great terms. And it's a shame, because he's really good, and I thought he was really good in the morning. So I don't know what the hell was going on there, but he would have been great for this gig. I mean, admittedly, he's just bought a house, I think, in Victoria somewhere with his new, not wife, but new girlfriend and hopefully partner for quite a long time. And so maybe he doesn't want to move up to Sydney. And I think Craig's originally from Sydney, I think.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm pretty sure I think all the Chaser boys are Sydney originally.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. It's really Andrew Hansen may be Victorian, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's interesting. So obviously the ABC has felt that they need a bit of a revamp, and they're losing their listenership. I mean, because Craig's not super old. I mean, Craig's about our age. He's about 50 odd, I think. He might be a tad younger, a tad older, but around about the same.
Yeah.
And they're
and he's had
obviously
good success with the War on Waste series and for the ABC, so not a bad choice. And we know he's funny and quite serious as well. So
yeah, he knows his stuff as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It will be really, really interesting. Now, talking about interesting, you have got some show and tell from your trip in Thailand, and I am very much looking forward to seeing it. So anyone on the pod, is there any way that we can get a link to the pictures? Maybe not.
Correct. Yes, I will be able to.
I
have done it in the past. I have done it in the past. I will do it for this.
Oh, fantastic!
Episode, of course,
that's great.
Of course, temples everywhere around Thailand, and that's no different here in Chiang Mai.
You seem very proud of the temple. Oh, bugger. We've lost Wencee. And he's looking so proud in front of his temple as well, which is really annoying. Because they're really good pictures, and I do know not what they're called, and I'm sure Wencee was about to tell us. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, he'll come back in a minute. Because I was thinking it wasn't going too badly, but I just need to check a few things. So, okay, not sure why. Yes, so I am here by myself at the moment. That's okay. Wencee should be back in a minute with a bit of luck. And that will be excellent. But just before he does, on our show a little while ago, we spoke about Wencee in Thailand. Yes, we can hear you, but we can't see you. It's a bit like hide and seek. We can hear you, but we can't see you. You did. I don't know. Can you hear me, Wencee? Yeah, so that's going well. So there was a little while ago, we actually Wencee did. He spoke about I think it was a young, I think she was, I don't know, it was a lady. She was anywhere between 40 and 60. I can't remember her age. But anyway, she had a brain parasite and she picked it up in Queensland. And the reason she picked it up was because of carpet python feces, because up there is a lot of carpet pythons that run around, quite native to Queensland, and they obviously are eating, rats, etc. And you need to be careful if you've got cats anywhere near them because they'll have a crack at that as well. But apparently the snake was spreading its feces on the vegetables, etc., that this person was eating. And they obviously didn't wash these vegetables anywhere near enough. And yeah, the parasite that lives in the python feces was in there. So anyway, our episode, I can't remember what the segment was, but that's what I think it was a science segment. But this person got a brain parasite, and that is how they got it. Now, the reason I bring this up is because there is a magnificent podcast called Do Your Fucking Mind. And no, don't mind my French. That's what it's called. Do Your Fucking Mind. And I can't remember for the life of me the girl's name, but she is a bit of a neuroscientist, i.e. all about the brain. But she's also got some really, really good tips on sort of how to run your life a little bit, i.e. on creating goals for yourself and all these sort of things. But she doesn't do it in any sort of pretentious way, and she does it with a lot of swearing. So it quite a few people out there that would probably enjoy that. I know my daughter definitely would, and she's about her age too. She's not even 30, I don't think. So, but anyway, it's called Do Your Fucking Mind, and she talks about the other 5 different ways that brain parasites can get into your brain. Now, the other thing about that is they're really rare, extremely rare, and to die from a brain parasite is even more rare. So nothing to be particularly concerned about, but quite fascinating. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about as well was there was a magnificent show a little while ago called Painkiller. I think it's still on Netflix. And it was all about the opioid epidemic in America, how it sort of started from the Sacklers. And the Sacklers were behind a company called Purdue, Purdue. And they created a tablet that was a really good painkiller, in quotes, I am doing with my fingers, a painkiller. But unfortunately, it had so much opioid in it that it was far too addictive, and many people have died from this, and there's been a class action in the States. So I just wanted to let you know, because it's a really, really important verdict that's coming up. And we're talking billions of dollars that the Purdue company will need to pay, because in America, big pharma, i.e. massive pharmaceutical companies, they just run the whole country, basically. And most of the time, the government just bows down and does whatever price they want to pay. So they offer that you need to pay. But at the moment, it's been quite good. Biden has, the president of America, has been sort of fighting back with different policies to try to cheapen different medical medical procedures, and also medications, etc. So, but anyway, the fate of billions for opioid victims from Sacklers rests with the Supreme Court. So the court will decide whether Purdue's owners can gain permanent immunity from future opioid lawsuits in exchange for payments up to $6 billion. Now, $6 billion is a lot of money, right? It is a lot of money. It's I think it's 6 and 9 noughts. I think that's right. 6,000 million. So it is an incredible amount of money. But the amount of people that have died from the opioid epidemic over there, because they were being overprescribed by nothing more really than sort of the sales techniques were very, very aggressive and very manipulative and fraudulent, basically, because the information that they were giving to the doctors, etc., was just total bullshit and totally taken from a card that this is what you're going to say. And then many of the doctors just didn't question it enough. There were, a handful that did, but many didn't. And those doctors have also been investigated, etc., etc. So, but the problem here is that, as I say, 6 billion is a lot, but the problem is that if they do have permanent immunity, it means that they'll pay the 6 billion out, and then forevermore, if there isn't any more in the kitty after 6 billion, no one else will get any payments. So it's a really, really interesting court case. I'll definitely have this link in the show notes. If you haven't seen Painkiller, it's on Netflix, and you've got Netflix, have a look at that. There's a new film out too. I can't remember what it's called, but it's very, very similar to Painkiller. I think that there's some few good stars in it, etc. But it basically tells the same sort of story. But Painkiller will definitely open your eyes and will sadden you a bit too to think this is how insidious the big pharma actually are. Now, with all of that, the good news is it looks like Wencee's back. I hope. We had him, and then I think he's gone again. It's going to be one of those nights. Oh, my goodness gracious me. So, yes, so I'll definitely have the link in the show notes for that one. Wencee's doing everything he possibly can to get back online at the moment. As you can tell, he's in Thailand, which he definitely absolutely is. And he was about to show us around Thailand, about to have a bit of a virtual tour. That would have been quite nice. But unfortunately, we are having internet issues at the moment. So what I will do is I think I will go through our rundown. We'll just take a break, and we'll be back in a minute with Blurred on politics in New Zealand, because there's some interesting things happening there at the moment. And then whenever Wencee gets back, we'll just break straight into that, because really would like to know what he's up to over there and have a bit of a chat, because it looks pretty interesting.
Last year, or our long-standing research advocating for a federal anti-corruption commission with real teeth, we change minds. To donate, head on over to australiainstitute.org.au.
Hey, this is Hannah Melville Ray from the Australia Institute. I'm listening to the new Blurt with Wencee and the Kegster, and you should be too. It's on Tuesday nights, live from around 8 p.m.
As the sting says, what on politics? Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, absolutely. It is Blurred on politics. And what I wanted to talk about was that what's happening in New Zealand government at the moment. You might know that the New Zealand government is just been changed. It's Jacinta Ardern used to be the Prime Minister of New Zealand, and now I believe it is I think it's Chris Luxton or something from the National Party, and they've already been doing things to make their presence felt, unfortunately, and lo and behold, they're upsetting the Indigenous of New Zealand. Who would have thought? So thousands of protesters have taken to the streets in New Zealand to express opposition towards Indigenous people. So protesters have gathered in front of Parliament and on motorways on Tuesday after the Minor Te Pari Māori Party called for nationwide demonstrations against the newly elected right-leaning government. Now, we'll talk about that in a minute. Wencee's back. We don't know how long we've got Wencee for, so we're going to go straight to Wencee.
Hello.
Right,
What did I miss?
buddy, if you can hear us, it's all yours. Oh, not a lot. Just me crapping on. It's absolutely fine.
I was listening intently on what's happening in New Zealand.
We have a bit of a delay. Yes, we have a tiny bit of a delay, but that's cool. If we can just rock through that and try to get back to those temples where you were proudly displaying them.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me? Here I come. Let's start this again. Excellent. All right. So this is Wat Phra Singh, which is in the old city of Chiang Mai. So Chiang Mai is surrounded by a moat. Let me do that again on the screen. I'm just doing a little square outline with my fingers. So yeah, Chiang Mai is surrounded by a moat and some old walls, which not much of it is standing, but there's still 4 gates, north, south, east, and west, that still exist. That cars, tuk-tuks,
So
and everything else.
How old is Chiang Mai? How old is Chiang Mai?
It's well over 400 or 500 years old, so it's yeah, pretty old.
And how old are these temples?
They can be anywhere from 200 to 300 or 400 years old. So, and some of them are a bit more recent. But some of them been better looked after, like this one. This one's quite. You can see all the gold lining that they put on around it. I think they're called pagodas.
So is it real gold lining though? I mean,
that's my understanding.
I'm assuming it's gold paint, maybe real gold paint or something, but it's real.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a thin sheet of gold that they glue on. That's what it seems like when you get up and close. You're not allowed to touch it, but you can tell that it looks like it's something that was stuck over.
And is it purely for religious purposes?
For and tourism, of course, but yeah, they do obviously do a lot of ceremonies. Sometimes it's just an official ceremony because it might be an official opening of something in the city, and they might have the monks bless the officials who are opening it and things like that. So they come to various temples around the city.
It's amazing. I always find it amazing just how much opulence and how much money is in anything to do with religion. You can't find enough money to give to the homeless or give to the people with disabilities, especially in Asia. And but you can always find money for religious beliefs, etc. And it's just
I find that amazing. So here's another temple, just a sleeping statue. I just thought it was quite funny and cute seeing that there.
And how big is that?
That was almost life size. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So about your size. Okay, cool.
Yeah, about my size. Yeah. Maybe a tad smaller, but yeah, pretty much life size. Now it's just at an entrance as you go up the steps. But this one here, the Wat Sri Suphan is one that we've never been to. So my partner and I have been to Chiang Mai maybe 5 or 6 times, but this is the first time we've been to this one. And this is all made out of silver, pretty much. And only recently in 2006, they started up a little community silver making workshop just next to this temple, just to bring back the art form to local people, so the tradition doesn't die. A lot of this has been maintained and made by the locals here now.
Very cool.
We bought
very cool.
So we bought tickets to go in. So this is one of the few temples where you've actually got to pay to come in. Most temples here are free, and you can donate. There's lots of donation boxes everywhere, and you just put your donation. But I paid
don't
for
mind.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, I don't mind paying for that sort of stuff when I'm overseas because they need it for upkeep a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm okay
exactly.
I'm okay for that. I don't have a problem with that.
And even the ones that don't charge an entry fee, we always give a donation to the in the donation boxes because again, like you said, it's for the upkeep, and that it's going to go for that. Or the money sometimes goes for the monks to give them their meal for the day and things like that. So
absolutely.
We're more than happy to donate. But this one here is special in that, like the picture shows here, it's made out of silver. But what we didn't realize was it is a misogynist temple. So
that doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't sound good. So when I paid for the tickets,
you nearly threw it back at him.
When I bought the tickets, I was asked how many women there were in the 3 tickets that I bought, and I said 2, and so I got 2 key rings as a gift. And I went, oh, this is cool, and I gave them to Kim and Eli because they still present as feminine. And everyone was really happy. Went, oh, cool. We got to go into this temple grounds, and you got a gift, and me, the poor man, didn't get nothing or didn't get anything. Went, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we approached this temple, the entrance of this door of this temple, and the sign clearly says, and I didn't add it in this slideshow, I should have, but I might add it for the viewers, for the listener to go to. But it clearly says men only. So women are not allowed to go into this temple. So gift of the key rings at all. So just into this temple, they can go around it and other parts of the ground, but they're not allowed to go in there. So here's a little sneak preview of what's inside.
It's like
again, it's all silver. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, so they must have been so rapt. Oh, goody, I get a key ring and you get to go inside. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so it really made me go, I initially said, no, I'm not going to go in then. But Kim and Elijah said, no, just go in, take photos.
I mean, obviously the history is over years and years and years, but what's the rationale behind it? I mean, I know, like in Indigenous customs in Australia, they have secret women's business and they have that all around the world sort of thing. It's not just here, but with the Indigenous sort of thing. Is that like a secret man's business sort of thing? Is that what that's all about? And
no
what's
idea.
the business?
It's one of the mysteries that we may not ever know.
All right. Okay. So, is there so what's the history behind this place? Why is it so important?
I don't know.
Apart from the fact that
there's not much information. Yeah, not much information to be had. It's just a temple that you can go in if you're a male, and if you're not, you just look at it from the outside.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah. One of the other great things about Chiang Mai is,
and I mean, talking about that, is Thailand pretty? Are they sort of progressive in their way that they think of men and women and gender diversity, etc., as a rule?
They are, as a general rule. They're a lot more accepting. You do see a lot of men dressed up as with makeup and very feminine look to them, or maybe they might have dresses on or just dress like a woman would. And not just here in Chiang Mai, but I've seen it in Bangkok and other parts of Thailand. Yeah. So in that perspective, they are quite progressive, and there's quite a bit of LGBTQI community here in Chiang Mai as well. And I think that's because of the art scene that exists up here. So it's a big art culture up here, whether it's paintings, jazz, like the photo I've got here showing. There's a big jazz festival that was on last week that just finished a couple of days ago over the weekend. So there's a lot of music going on here. So we're trying to go to as much live music as possible here in Chiang Mai while we're here, because there's a lot of bars with live music, whether it's jazz, rock, pop. So there's, as you walk around the town at night, you see you hear a lot of music being played live, which is great.
Absolutely, and the jazz is just like Western jazz, isn't it?
Yeah, predominantly all your classics.
It's not like traditional.
No. There's some some of the bands. You go.
No, I was just going to say I read a little while ago that jazz over the last 10 years, a little bit more maybe, has been really getting pretty big in Asia. Western jazz, that really, it's a lot of jazz artists are touring, etc., and people like it. So music's music, I suppose. But
yeah, exactly. And I think jazz is popular here in Chiang Mai and Thailand in particular because the former king who passed away a few years ago, King of Thailand, I believe he played the saxophone, and played jazz sax. And so he's probably made it popular. And he was, don't quote me on this, but he must have been 70 or 80 when he passed away. So he would have been playing the saxophone for decades. So it's probably encouraged a lot of Thais to get into that style of music.
It would have been cool if back in the day, Bill Clinton went to visit the King of Thailand, and then they jazzed out one night. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
you've got the president of America with the King of Thailand playing sax. That'd be pretty cool. But, I'd pay to see that. That'd be good.
Yeah,
so
that would have been awesome.
These guys here, there, they were good, were they?
Yeah. Funnily enough, one of the sax players is Dale Barlow, who is actually Australian and born in Sydney. He's played with Chet Baker, a very famous jazz player back in the day. I'm trying to remember who else.
So Dale Barlow is quite old then, yeah?
Yeah, so he'd been in his 60s. Mid to late 60s. Still playing and plays really, really well. Actually, I think he played with Jimmy Barnes when I read his bio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's not, if he's a sax player, that's not surprising at all. If that's, because Barnesy had quite a lot of sax in his 80s stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So Dale Barlow, definitely on Spotify and all the other places. But yeah, look him up. Nice. He's a great musician. Plays the flute as well. Maybe
you can put a link in the show notes of a Spotify playlist or something. That's publicly available.
Yeah, no, sounds good. Yeah, so we really enjoyed that festival that night.
Oh, cool. Excellent. That's brilliant.
I'm going to get onto food now because this is why we come here.
Good. My favourite thing.
Yes. So we were heading off to a market last week, and the Grab driver, Grab is similar to Uber, and the Grab driver, who took us to this market, said, this restaurant on this side here, and he pointed to it, and we could see it was busy, and it was around just before lunchtime. He said, this place is good and good with locals and tourists. And we went, okay, nice. Cool. And so we went to the market, which was about 1 kilometre away, and it was closed because it doesn't open on a Friday. So we went, all right, what do we do for lunch? We remembered this restaurant. So we walked the kilometre.
We've lost Wencee. I think we've got sound. Oh, there he is. Yep. I can see you. Yep. No, he's there and he's looking studious, but he's not talking. He might have a massive lag, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. But we will just wait for Wencee to come back. He was talking about the pork cooked in the earthenware pots. As you can see, if you're on the vid and if you're on the pod, there's some amazing food right in front of me at the moment that hopefully Wencee will be back and be able to describe what we're looking at. But you should be able to pop back in a minute, just in case he can't. Okay, cool. So Wencee will be back in a minute. I'll just go back to what I was talking about before. So what's happened in New Zealand is that the National Party-led coalition has decided that everyone needs to be equal and no priority, for this, in this case, the Maoris. And there's been protesters. They're concerned they're going to water down the Treaty of Waitangi. That's their concern. So at the moment, they're saying that the National Party has pledged to review the positive discrimination policies, which basically means that if they think it is negative towards the Pakeha, which is the white of New Zealand, that is a positive discrimination policy. And what they're going to do is change the name to some of the departments from Māori language to English, which is pretty controversial, and strip the legislation of references to the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi. So it's pretty bad. Now, you don't have to bear with me. If you're there, Wencee, see if you can get your slides back up. Have a chat. I need to get some water, and I also need to do something before one of our blinds in our house breaks. So I'll be back.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound good. Oh dear. So, as I was saying, we caught our taxi to this market, and we decided to have lunch somewhere else because the market was closed. So we walked the kilometre back to this restaurant, and as I'm showing in the photos here, on the left-hand side, there's a big earthenware kiln or oven. You can see charcoal at the very bottom, and then they hang the pork belly strips along this edge of the pot, where it gets cooked beautifully and absorbs all those flavors and everything else. And so we had no idea what this restaurant was about, but that's what we discovered as we walked up to the counter. And so you could feel the heat coming out of these pots with the pork belly there, and then the picture on the right is the pork belly on the right hand side, and the chicken that I believe is also cooked in those pots with the earthenware and the coal at the bottom. So we initially ordered 2 plates, ended up buying 3 because one of our kids, Luke, the youngest, just gobbled up one plate all for himself. So yeah, we had to order some more. And
one of those whole plates of chicken. He ate all of that.
The pork. He ate the pork. He loves pork belly.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So do we have a picture of the pork belly on a plate? Yes, no.
Yeah, the one on the right hand side, that photo.
Okay, and the other one's chicken, yeah, or is that duck?
Yeah, so chicken on the left plate,
Right, okay.
and pork on the right plate, and then the left photo is how it gets cooked.
Oh, gotcha. And you're saying that the pork belly on the right, Luke ate the whole plate.
He ate pretty much a whole plate by himself. So we ended up
how big's
getting
the plate?
extra. Probably about 6 or 8 inches long. 3 or 4 wide. Yeah.
Much.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat that much pork. Mind you, he's 16 though, so fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. And then you add sticky rice to it, and just fills you up.
Yeah, nice meal. Nice.
The other cuisine.
What's the sauce? What was the sauce?
Oh, it's some sort of spicy tamarind, I'm guessing. Sauce.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Mixed with, I don't know how they do it. But yeah, nice. It's just really delicious. And my last slideshow, which is a food photo, is a traditional northern dish called cow soy. They have various meats inside, or
similar to a laksa.
Very similar to a laksa. It's a curry, thick type soup with fried noodles on top. Traditionally, or usually, you find with pork or pork meatballs, sometimes chicken, and not as often. I don't think I've seen as much beef, but generally it's a pork dish. Yeah, and it's quite rich in flavour.
I thought they were
Very
fish
similar
balls.
to
They're not
a
fish
laksa.
balls, right?
No, they're not fish balls. Pork meatballs. Those ones.
Right. Got it.
Yeah.
So Thai seems very, very heavy on the meat. I'm not seeing a lot of veggies.
They
Do they
can
have good
be.
Thai? Because they do have good Thai salads, don't they?
They do. They have papaya salad, mango salads. They have.
Oh yes, we love that. Love that.
Yeah, and often you get the morning glory greens, which is like a spinach type vegetable that they cook. Yeah, and they cook it with, I don't know, garlic and chilies and other flavors. So you do get that a lot, but we're tasting cow soy a lot because that's the dish from up here. So.
Oh, okay. It's the sort of the national dish.
The northern Thai dish. It's quite local, that one.
Cool. And what would that set you back?
That dish that I just showed you there was that was the special size, so that large size. That was 60 baht, which translates to about $3.
All of it?
Yep, all of it.
What? So
and
everything we just saw, like on the right-hand side, that cost
$3. The cow soy, the soup, was $3.
Oh, sorry.
The pork.
You can easily eat out every day without a problem, can't you?
Oh, for sure. And the pork dish for the four of us, I think from memory, came out to about what was that? 450 baht, which divided by 20, what's that? $22 for four of us, so about $5 each.
Yeah,
and that included a drink.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. That is pretty crazy stuff. So, well, that was awesome. Thank you for taking us around Thailand. That was awesome. So, when we do a Christmas show next week, will you still be in Chiang Mai?
No, I'll be further north. I'll be in Chiang Rai. We're heading out tomorrow to another city.
Okay,
Chiang Rai.
So you're going up the alphabet as such. That's what's happening there.
Pretty much, yes.
Right.
Getting closer to Burma and Laos.
Oh, well, that'd be cool. Oh, wow. So it could be even hotter then because you're getting closer to the equator, aren't you?
No, further away. Equator's down south.
Oh, okay. So where does the equator hit?
Singapore. Singapore's right on the equator from memory, or pretty close to it.
Oh, right.
And then Thailand sits above it all, and you go up to China. Yeah.
Okay. So, Wencee, it might be better if you do not do video and just do sound at the moment, because I don't know what's happening, but anyone watching this, they may get... Yeah. So, yeah, that's cool. Oh, no. Oh, gee whiz. I didn't want to lose him completely. But anyway, he'll be back with this in a minute. I will just finish what's happening with New Zealand because it's not great. We've got Te Pāti co-leader Rawiri Waititi told protesters in Wellington, we need to make our voices heard, let our voices fly and be proud to be who we are today. New Zealand police said 2 people involved in demonstrations had been arrested. There have been disruptions to traffic in a number of cities. It's going to be really, really interesting what this new government is like in New Zealand. I don't really have high hopes for it. I mean, some of the stuff they've already done They've stopped putting a ban on smoking. That's a terrible thing to do anyway. People's health in the future, just thinking about cash as usual. And just talking about the Indigenous in that way and watering down the Treaty of Waitangi that they fought for so hard back in the, I think it was 1800s. And it was and has been revisited so many times. So to water it down any more than it is at the moment, it's just really detrimental to that country's sort of Indigenous reconciliation, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, we'll have to watch this space and see where that goes, because that looks a bit sad to me. But something that isn't sad is a few jokes. So I think we should do Joke of the Week. Hopefully Wencee's back with us. Wencee, are you there?
I am here, listening intently.
Excellent. Well, if you've got your jokes there, you can tell them. That should be okay.
Okay. All right.
So you don't have to show them. You can just tell them. But before you do, and no, you're right, we're not hearing anything, but we will be. So I just need to sort that out. And what we might do is
My brother-in-law was a victim to the hokey pokey.
I'm hoping.
Now it's time for Joke of the Week.
Yes, so it's been a trying and telling experience, but that's what you get when someone's traveling the world and someone's traveling Asia. And we were very lucky that we got just a bit of time to have a bit of news with Wencee there, and for the listener would be awesome.
Yeah, apologies for the internet issues. I haven't had problems when I've been working.
Yes, he's back.
But yes.
Look,
I'm back.
These things happen. Don't worry about it. So go for it.
All right. What do dentists call their x-rays?
I don't know.
Toothpicks.
Oh, very nice. That's a good one. Oh, I like that. Hold on, I need to get a couple of things happening here. That was particularly good.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Did you hear that, by the way?
I did.
Yes, good. That's what I want to hear. Right. Okay. So I got fired from my job at the bank today.
No, no.
An old lady asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over.
Oh, I'd love to see that happen in real life.
That's terrible. That is so bad.
Okay.
That's so bad. Anyway, go for it.
Do you want to hear a construction joke?
Go on.
Sorry, I'm still working on it.
Oh, come on. My wife just completed a 40-week bodybuilding program this morning.
Oh, wow.
It's a girl, and it weighs 7 pounds, 12 ounces.
Oh, dear. Why do ducks have feathers?
That was rubbish. That was terrible.
Why do ducks have feathers?
Why do ducks have feathers? It's a great question. I do not know. I don't know.
To cover their butt quacks.
Why do they have feathers? That's ridiculous. That is just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. Why are there so many different kinds of pasta? Are you there? Wencee, talk to me, Wencee. Are you there? No, I'm getting nothing out of Wencee. No. Okay. So the question is, why is there so many different kinds of pasta? The answer is, if I had a penny for every time I asked myself this question. Penne, pasta,
All right, I'm back. I can hear you.
Oh, cool. Excellent.
I missed the joke.
Well, it's just, you're just in time for yours. Yes, you did. But that's all right. It's just in time for yours. I have one more and then we'll wind up.
Why should you never trust stairs?
Why should you never trust stairs? I honestly don't know.
They're always up to something.
Why? Oh, very good, very good. I could have almost worked that out, to be honest.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, these jokes, the ones you're telling and the ones that I'm telling, they're very much rather than some of the ones we've had in the past where we've really sort of side-splitting jokes, But these are a bit like that. So I'll see if we can get something. Have a good. Oh yeah, okay. You'll like this. Nurse, blood type, dad, red. That's a typical dad answer.
I missed that one.
Oh, it's all right. I'm not going to. I'm not going to repeat it. It's not worth repeating.
Okay.
So, what we might do, because we've had such fun with the internet, Thailand tonight. It's just been an amazing experience. But it has been fantastic having you there, Wencee, and getting a little bit of a sniff of what's happening over there. And I look forward to seeing you next week for our last show of the year. And unfortunately,
it's gone so quick.
It has, my friend. It has indeed. One thing I was going to say, was this our 148th or 149th episode today?
149, would you believe it?
So next week, our Christmas show is our 150th.
Correct.
Which is pretty phenomenal. There's only about, as I said before, it's only about 10% lot of potties. We're in good company.
Good territory.
And we would normally, on our 50th or our 25th, as we did last time, we'd have Dan Illick, but I know he's out and about in the country. And if he's out and about in the country and you're out and about in the country in Thailand, I can just imagine how good the internet's going to be for the whole show. So I'm thinking that's not a good suggestion.
No,
so I think we will be doing our 150th by ourselves. And we'll pick up Dan next year sometime. So,
yeah.
But good night, people. And good night to you, Wencee, or good afternoon, I should say. Enjoy the rest of your day. When do you stop working officially?
End of this week officially, and then I can truly relax.
End of this. Yes, truly and absolutely. So, all right, it's been an absolute pleasure. Really, really enjoyed it. We'll see you next week for the last show. Just find some stuff about Christmas over there, and we'll have a good
yarn about it. All right, see you everyone. Bye.
See you, buddy. See you, listener. Bye.